Tamblyn writes in his new memoir that his pal Presley apologized profusely and admitted things had gotten a little out of hand when he was staying over. Russ Tamblyn is sharing a story about how Elvis Presley once left behind much more than expected at his home. After discussing in his new memoir Dancing on the Edge how he and Presley met while the latter was prepping to shoot his 1957 movie Jailhouse Rock, the West Side Story star said he allowed Presley to stay at his house as a quiet getaway while Tamblyn was out of town filming a project. And while Tamblyn, now 89, knew that Presley traveled with a large entourage, he writes that he definitely was not prepared for the chaos they unleashed on his Malibu, California, property. My house was a total shambles, Tamblyn recalls of the scene he returned to. Half-eaten peanut butter and banana sandwiches had been left just about everywhere, even down inside the bedsheets and in the drawers of the bedside tables. Of the more than 24 glasses I had owned, which had been stored in a kitchen cupboard, only 2 remained. Many of the broken shards were strewn all over the floor, along with piles of trash. It was such a mess I had to use a rake to clean up the big stuff before I could even bring in a broom, he adds. So much for what Elvis had originally asked of me, a quiet getaway, my ass. But when he confronted his friend, Presley was quick to take responsibility. He apologized profusely and admitted things had gotten a little out of hand, writes the 7 Brides for 7 Brothers actor. He had his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, send me a check to cover the damages. Of course, most of the money went to the owner so I could avoid being evicted. According to Tamblyn, before the home trashing incident, Presley has asked him for some pointers on his dancing in Jailhouse Rock. As the man who would go on to become the king of rock and roll, liked the way I could quickly pop my knees in more dramatically than he could. This would become one of his signature moves, Tamblyn wrote. Elvis was a hard worker, and it certainly paid off for him in that film. I thought it was one of his best. In Dancing on the Edge, Tamblyn deftly guides readers through his star-studded life and his search for a deeper, more connected existence, reads a synopsis, from attending school with Elizabeth Taylor, earning an Academy Award nomination for Peyton Place, dropping out of Hollywood at the height of his career to become a fine artist in Topanga Canyon and forging a lifelong friendship with Neil Young. Tamblyn, who is the father of actress Amber Tamblyn, previously told people that he started writing the book over 25 years ago, around the time he received the Humanities Distinguished Lifetime Achievement Award in 1998 at the University of Arizona. According to the actor, Dr. David Soren, an anthropology professor at the school, requested to write his biography, a draft of which was read and reviewed by an English teacher neighbor of Tamblyn's, who told him she thought it was a great story, but had one thing missing. And we looked at each other and we said, "What?" And she said, "You," he recalls. Tamblyn says he used Soren's biography draft, which his wife, Bonnie Tamblyn, praises as very comprehensive, as a jumping-off point, but that they edited a lot of it. Over the years, it just kept going and going, Bonnie tells people of the process. And our daughter, Amber, is an author, and she edited a lot for us. And she brought a more modern perspective to it.
Please subscribe, like and hit the notification button for more videos.